Yeah. Why was I even worried? Tons of time. So.
The other guy who was in here went around and interacted with all the sculptures like he was looking for the right one. Funny, he really seemed to know what he was doing. The one he eventually settled on is at Programming Station C.
Programming Station C, you say? Very good. Where's my page for Farnstein? Prog Station C. Let's go ahead and save it up.
You can call this maternity ward. This is where I was born. The huge womb in the center is where the neurosynaptic polymer gel that makes up my brain mass is grown. Ringing it are the programming stations. Kinda homey, isn't it?
If you say so. Ooh, I'm actually walking here. Right, it's pressurized, I guess. Yeah. I see. Well, I guess one's as good as any. I can't actually see the letters.
These stations are where the neurosynaptic polymer gel is programmed. Sort of where my DNA is coded, I suppose. Each new function is mapped independently into a glob of gel like this by stimulating synaptic pathways with the resonance probes. Each program mass is then introduced to the parent nexus where it's assimilated and becomes part of the wetware. A little like an RNA injection. Dr. Farnstein had set up a studio in the research lab where I could interface with a painting window. It was kind of important to me, things that I couldn't figure out, I just put to canvas. After the accident, I had a lot of things I wanted to work out, and the studio was just gone. I guess one day I sort of hit on the idea of using all of this raw material here. It gave me a lot of flexibility. It's a medium I'm familiar with. My own gray matter. Green matter, I suppose. I guess I like the irony, too. The artist cannibalizing himself for his art.
Wanting. No comment? Okay. No interaction either. Oh, actually, we can interact. Was that bad? My inventory seems to be the same. Okay, it's just creepy. That's alright then. As long as it's just creepy. Alright, you can stop. Thank you. I guess there's no further progress this way. Oh, okay, it's actually 3 different directions. I guess that kind of makes sense. So in that case, we have a central comes out like yay, on which there are 2 stations of questionable lettering, because I couldn't actually look at them. So let's go forward. Up here. That looked like A and B. No interaction with these ones. Ooh, there's no matter in this one. I guess the person who came here through time was looking for a program. That's C and D, which I believe is that way around. Okay. Nothing here.
Well, this is the one. If you touch it, you can see what it's supposed to do. Whatever he did to it only shows up in reaction to a specific harmonic resonance. Why go to all this trouble?
Okay, so there's some stuff here. Alright, let us first off find our little piece of evidence. I don't immediately see anything grossly wrong here. So 4 megahertz. Epsilon? Some? Well, just to be sure, I'd best note this down. 74 megahertz EPHM. Is there any... Oh, yes, there is some interaction. Oh, right, that's not actually going back. That's adjusting the frequency. Okay. Wow, that is a very small hit area. Oh, is there actually hit area? Ah, yes, there we are. It's down here. So basically, we can change the frequency, but how do we figure out what frequency to go to? I mean, do we just go through them all? Well, let's try it, I guess. Ooh, it's positive response on 11 kilohertz. I'd best note down the ones that do and don't. So 11... Oh, in a triangle wave. 11 kilohertz triangle had a positive response. Does that mean that that's done? Is that it? I guess that's it. Any comment, Arthur?
The harmonic resonance control is used to introduce specific three-dimensional resonance waves into the biomass. Where the waves converge, the gel is stimulated into opening new patterns of pathways. Without inserting the probes, I suppose the sculpture would just be flooded by the resonance field. There's a chance that it might trigger an embedded response.
Sure, okay.
Okay, well, I guess that does it. You know, for so long I dreamed of getting out of here. But now that I've gotten my wish, it's kind of strange to think that I'll never be able to come back. I'm gonna miss this place. Hold me, Gage.
We can come back whenever you want. So what was that? Electronic schematics inconsistent with technology level of this time period. Oh, really? So why did they come here? I mean, maybe they wanted the AI stuff, but we do have AIs. Dunno. I do not have a supposition at this point. Still, that is one time zone completed, and we even got away with an explosive charge, which is quite nice. Guess there's really nothing else here for us. Alright. Actually, save. Save. Fun. Complete. Let's go ahead and jump. We have an explosive charge. We could use the explosive charge to blow open some doors in Venice. We could use an explosive charge to blow open some stuff in Gaylard. It's, we still need to find something valuable for Itza. So let's go to Chateau Gaylard. Let's see if we can blow this case wide open. Hello! Your wish is my command. I probably don't need the arrow, but I may as well grab a fresh one. In fact, let's just have a look at this. There's a small graph pad on the backside of the explosive charge that allows it to stick to any surface. Any surface, huh? Sounds promising. Let's grab it back to Arthur. Blow it off the hinges. Blow it off the hinges. I mean, the only other thing I can think is that there's somewhere that we need to go. Outside on the wall. Where we could blow something up? Still not sure how he doesn't hear us scuffing our feet up and down the stairs. Where could I use an explosive charge? I mean, somewhat fundamentally, I feel like we need to get to the keep. But in order to do that, we would need to be able to use the siege cycle. Or have a rope that goes across to the other side. Which I don't have any way of launching a rope across. I'm curious why Arthur has a help lit up all along this wall section. I don't want to use hints, but at the same time, the only thing that has fundamentally changed since I started this set is we now have an explosive charge. And I can't think of where you could use it. Because we've done the blacksmith, we've got the boot print from the river. We can't blow the doors. And where else is there to go other than the keep? But without a way to launch. And I guess the charge could be for Da Vinci's area. Not quite sure how. Alright, let's see what Arthur has to say about this.
I'd suggest we start looking around. Just keep in mind what you're looking for. Something historical has been tampered with. Where would be the most likely place to find something important?
The keep.
Well, I guess that anything of historical value would be somewhere in the keep. Whatever was messed with, it's probably a good bet we'll find it there.
Okay, well that didn't help at all. I already figured that out on my own. I don't remember seeing anything on the ground floor to indicate a ballista or such equipment. I mean, we have the grappling hook with the rope. But that's far too far for us to be able to throw. We can get down to ground level, but we can't get anywhere because there are people patrolling around. Unless, I suppose... Oh, boot. Oh. Yep. Yep. That's my bad. That one's on me. Unless if I go back to the river where the boot print was, that I guess was an indication that someone had walked across the river, which I suppose means that it's fair to say that we can probably also walk across the river, and I just didn't see it. I mean, whoever did this is clearly using a temporal suit like ours, or has got use of the old temporal Pegasus catapult. Oh. Well, there you go then. How the hell didn't I see that before? I'll have to see whether I actually looked at this angle.
Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair. That's either a very dirty moat or a very clean sewer.
54 Gale Moat. Funky. Well then, don't I feel like a silly little goat? I guess grappling hook? Yeah, I'm going with grappling hook. You're not going to get in the window swinging it backhand, you'd have to go overhand.
Hello! Joseph! Shaka fool! 'Tis all for naught! It shall not claim this tour!
Tor? You mean tower, right? I don't really see much I can do about rocks coming down. How the hell did they get a cow up there? Having taken too long to begin his ascent of the keep, Agent 5 found itself an unwilling participant in a reenactment of a silly Monty Python skit. Silly and fatal. Fair enough. Fair enough. I guess I was overthinking it. I'm not sure a moat would really look like that. It's very strange. I'll just have to assume that we can just climb up. But seriously, to get that grappling hook through the window, you'd want to throw it overarm, not under. Because it would never hook like that.
Hello! Joseph! Shaka fool! 'Tis all for naught! It shall not claim this tour!
People really had trouble with language back in the day, huh? Missed me, missed me. Now you gotta kiss me. Oh shit. Do I have to do anything? I don't understand. I'm just... Is it... Oh shit.
Quick! He's in Kate's chamber!
Pooh, I'm clipped, bitches! But surely they're going to run to the window and be like, where is he? And then they'll run straight into me.
Alas! He escaped us! He must not wretched the goddess!
It must not reach the goddess, or say paton. Sorry. I'll give them a few moments to make sure they're gone. Alright. Well then. Isn't this a fancy pants piece of equipment? And you can go back out the window, huh? Save. Save. 50. 5. Gale. Chamber. And finally I'll be able to use the copper key. I've had that thing for ages.
Those seats built in the window were usually the only furniture in a tower. Furniture was rare, or reserved for the aristocracy, like our king here. In fact, if you did have furniture, it was generally a flat chest that doubled as a bench.
It's true.
Tapestries were used a lot as wall coverings to warm up rooms. The illustrations usually depicted historical moments such as great battles or biblical scenes.
We can go out any of the windows. Or at least look out. I'm not quite sure whether that's going out or just looking out. We'll find out, don't worry.
Oh, I can't believe this. I don't know how many times I told the movers the bedspread should be done in taupe.
Taupe.
Hey, nice chest.
Wow, that chest sounds an awful lot like a locked door. No? Oh, come on! I've had this key for so long. Fine. Aha! No, seriously, aha! What? I have the key right... It's here. What? Game. Please. Please, game. Please. Why? Why won't you let me use my key? But it will fit. Don't tell me I have to make another key. No, that's just going to the same one. Well, I really am confused.
What lovely candelabras. I wish my brother George was here.
Okay, wardrobe. I'd wager going out the door is possibly a bad idea. Anything in here? What's the matter? Did you screw up the walking animation? Oh dear. Nice bit of fire. So we're kind of looking for the jeweled sword, right? Because the guy in the museum had the sword, the Mayan sculpture, the AI sculpture. I wrote it down somewhere. Okay, I guess there's not...
That is actually a pretty nice depiction of a castle under siege. Guess another good example of life imitating art, wouldn't you say? Except for the 20-foot knights, of course.
True.
You gotta tell him. You gotta tell him. Soylent Gruel is made out of people.
Okay. Nothing to interact with. In that case, let us save 56 Gale Chamber. 2. And let's try a few things. First off, what happens if we go out the window? Okay, that is just looking. That's alright then. That is alrighty then. And I assume the other one leads on to some sort of something, but I can't go out there. So I guess that just leaves our key that we can't use in the wardrobe and a doorway. Well, I suppose I just try walking out the door. Ooh, okay. This is why they have so many sections of that first spiral staircase. Because I was thinking, that's an awful lot of stuff to have made just for nothing to happen in. Yeah. Ah. Oh. Any life signs? No, I can't turn left. Oh, yes, I can. Cool.
This must be the study. When the king stayed here, it would be his throne room. In his absence, it would be used for receiving visitors, and right now, I would guess, planning the defense of the castle.
Nice bit of moonshine.